Director of Administration and HR of the African Union Commission, Dr. Josue Dioni, Director of Food Security and Sustainable Development of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Madam Raju Mandaloch, Project Leader and Chief of Staff at IFPRI, Dr. David Spearman, Project Research Lead and Research Fellow at IFPRI, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the International Food Policy Research Institute, I thank you all for responding to our invitation to attend the launch of the Millions Fed publication. Good morning and welcome to the Hilton. Mr. Chairman, the research that led to the successes in agriculture that have been chronicled in the book was done by scientists, scholars, farmers, policymakers, politicians, and all kinds of people in national systems and international organizations to whom IFPRI is very grateful. For those of you who are not familiar with the International Food Policy Research Institute, let me say a few words about the institute. IFPRI, as it's said in short, is one of the 15 centers of the Consultative Group on International Agricultural Research. IFPRI's objective is to assist to cut poverty and end hunger soon through research, capacity strengthening, and communications. It is headquartered in Washington, D.C. IFPRI has about 30% of its staff located outside Washington, so that they can be close to where the action is. Some of us are located outside D.C., and I think we are very close to where the action is. There are regional and country offices in India, Beijing, Addis Ababa, Dakar, Accra, Lilongwe, Kampala, and Maputo. The Institute works with partners in several countries to pursue its mission. All the outputs of the Institute, including the book we are going to launch today, are international public goods, and they are available free of charge. And you can see that some of them were available, and you are just free to pick any one you want. IFPRI pitched camp in Addis Ababa in 2004, and currently 4 of the 5 research divisions have staff located in Ethiopia. There is one program, the Ethiopian Strategy Support Program, that works in conjunction with the Ethiopian Development Research Institute and other Ethiopian institutions to help find solutions to Ethiopian food and agriculture problems. Such programs exist in other countries as well. Due to the success of the country's strategic support programs, USAID is providing funds to replicate the experience in South Asia. So very soon we'll be having some country strategic support programs in South Asia. The Knowledge, Capacity and Innovation Division of IFPRI, which I am associated with, helps in the creation, accumulation, sharing, and use of knowledge for innovation along the food and agricultural value chain. The division helps to develop the capacity of organizations and actors to forge organizational, technological, institutional, and policy innovations to accelerate agricultural development. Agricultural research has contributed to the ability of the world to feed its people and to provide raw materials for its industries. Some people do not appreciate the contribution of agricultural research to global food security. But the question to pose is the counterfactual. That is, what would have happened without agricultural research? Agricultural research plays an important role in agricultural innovation systems in producing the technologies that will promote increased productivity. Published estimates of rate of return on investments in research and development in the developing world by the World Bank average 43% a year. Using provisional data from China for 1970 to 1997, it has been demonstrated that poverty reduction effect per unit of additional agricultural research and development investment ranks second only to investments in rural education. The third, of course, is infrastructure, roads, power, and other things. In less developed countries, even though agriculture is the major livelihood for the people, the current agricultural research intensity, that is expenditure on agricultural research as a share of agricultural GDP, is only 0.47%, as compared to the recommended level of 1.5%. Public spending on African agriculture, including investment in research and development, stands at an all-time low of less than 7% of agricultural GDP, as against 13% in Asia and 13% in Latin America. With science-based technology as a key driver of agricultural growth, the dramatic declines in agricultural research and development funding are a clear threat, indeed, to much-needed future agricultural innovations in Africa. Mr. Chairman, let me end with quotes from three prominent individuals to emphasize the importance of science and technology in agricultural development. The first quote is from J. Wilson, who was president of the World Bank, and he made this statement on March 17, 1997, and I quote, "We need to think of capital as the scarce factor in production and the transfer of capital as a key instrument of growth. Knowledge is now as important, if not more, a factor in development, and this trend is set to intensify. In the 21st century, knowledge accumulation and application will drive development processes and will create unprecedented opportunities for growth and poverty reduction." That was Offenson, March 17, 1997. My second quote is from President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. He made this speech to the Royal Society in London in 2006, and I quote, "We in Africa must either begin to build our scientific and technological training capabilities or remain an impoverished appendage to the global economy. We all know that the application of science and technology is fundamental and indeed indispensable in the social and economic transformation of our countries. Productive capacities in modern economics are not based merely on capital and labor. They are also dependent on scientific knowledge and sustained technological advances," unquote. My last quote is from Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, President of Liberia, and he made this at the Science in Africa Conference on 3rd to 7th March 2008 in Addis Ababa here in Ethiopia. And I quote, "No country on earth has developed without deploying, harnessing, and utilizing science and technology, whether it is through technology transfer or homegrown. The African continent needs to think seriously about stepping up its efforts in using science and technology for decision support and for making it a difference in the lives of ordinary people. By harnessing science and technology, African countries have a stronger chance for sustained economic growth, for addressing poverty, disease, and environmental destruction. Therefore, building national science and technology capacities are critical indicators of the future well-being of a country's citizens and how well a country can compete in the global economy," unquote. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are welcome to the launch of the Millions Fed Proving Successes in Agricultural Development. I wish you all and myself a very enjoyable event, and then I think we should go back home to continue to make advocacy for science and technology to move our development. Thank you very much.